Today, we're diving into a deeply satisfying story of dramatic irony. It's a real-life narrative that proves exactly why making snap assumptions based on appearances can cost you dearly. You know, we've all heard that old cliché about not judging a book by its cover, but we rarely get to see the consequences play out in such a spectacular, high-stakes way. Before we get into the thick of it, I want you to ask yourself honestly, how do you evaluate someone's capabilities based purely on a split-second visual judgment? Like, what does serious intent actually look like to you? Do you picture a tailored suit, maybe a luxury watch or a polished briefcase? We all naturally rely on visual shortcuts to assess people, but as we're gonna see, those shortcuts can sometimes create a massive blind spot. Section 1. The unlikely customer and a clash of appearances. So our story kicks off on the gleaming showroom floor of Prestige Motors. It's a brilliant illustration of contrast. We've got our protagonist, Tony, strolling in wearing his everyday work clothes. We're told he literally still has grease under his fingernails, standing inches away from a brand new Bentley. I mean, it's the absolute ultimate symbol of pristine, untouchable luxury. And what's crazy here is the sheer weight of the numbers involved. Tony isn't just window shopping. He actually asks the staff to test drive this Bentley, a vehicle carrying a staggering $180,000 price tag. Just picture that scene for a second. A guy with greasy hands pointing to a flawless six-figure luxury car, simply asking for the keys.
Section 2. Proof of serious intent and the danger of visual assumptions.
So a salesman walks up to Tony and just slowly looks him over. He takes in the work clothes, the greasy fingernails, the total lack of any typical wealth markers. And based entirely on that visual scan, the salesman flat out denies the test drive. He looks Tony right in the eye and demands to see proof of serious intent to purchase before he'll even consider handing over those keys. He completely dismisses Tony as a serious buyer. Now, how does Tony handle being visually profiled and shut down? Honestly, this is where his character really shines. Instead of getting angry or causing a huge scene, Tony just nods. He politely repeats his request for a test drive. And the salesman? He completely ignores him, literally turns his back and walks away. The salesman thinks the interaction is over and he just successfully weeded out a time waster. But here's the thing, Tony doesn't leave. Rather than storming out of Prestige Motors, he just finds a chair near the entrance and sits down. And he sits there deliberately for a full 10 minutes. No fidgeting, no complaining. He is totally unbothered by the rejection. I mean, think about the supreme confidence it takes to just sit calmly in a luxury showroom after being completely blown off by the staff. After that very deliberate 10-minute pause, Tony pulls out his phone. He doesn't make a scene, he just makes a single phone call. Just one. And as we're about to find out, that one call carries a lot more weight than any designer suit ever could. Moving on to Section 3, the hidden timeline operating behind the scenes. While that salesman saw nothing but a greasy mechanic, he totally missed the massive reality playing out in the background. Think about the timeline here. 3 months ago, Tony's private equity group was already deep into a massive deal. Then we have day 0, the day of the showroom rejection. And finally, just 2 days later, that deal closed. Tony's group fully acquired the dealership's parent company. Just to be crystal clear on what this actually means, a private equity group is a powerful financial heavyweight. They provide massive backing to buy out operating companies. Tony wasn't just some guy off the street who liked fast cars. He was the representative of a financial force that was quietly buying the entire operation, Prestige Motors and the whole shebang, right out from under that salesman's feet. Which brings us to Section 4, the Wednesday return, and quite frankly, the ultimate flex. With the acquisition officially complete, Tony strolls back into Prestige Motors on a Wednesday morning. He gathers the staff together. He personally introduces himself to everyone. He calmly announces himself as their new ownership representative, so effectively their new boss. And then, without missing a single beat, he asks for the keys to that exact same $180,000 Bentley. And here is the absolute cherry on top. In a perfect twist of dramatic irony, the exact same salesman who dismissed him just days earlier, the guy who demanded proof of serious intent, is standing right there on the floor, watching this whole thing unfold. He's watching the guy he thought was a penniless mechanic take over his entire company. But Tony doesn't yell at him. He doesn't fire him on the spot. Instead, Tony simply walks up, shakes his hand, smiles warmly, and delivers the ultimate power move. He looks at the salesman and just repeats his original request. I just want a test drive. It's an absolute masterclass in letting your actions speak way louder than your appearance.
Finally, Section 5, Rethinking Assumptions and our final lesson.
Let's wrap up this explainer by connecting this super satisfying moment of justice back to how you and I operate every single day. Next time you catch yourself demanding proof of serious intent based purely on appearances, I want you to remember Tony. Who is really driving the deal when you judge a book by its cover? Because while you're busy evaluating someone's clothes or the grease on their hands, they might just be the one holding the keys to the entire building. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep challenging those assumptions, and I'll catch you next time.